In a nutshell, ROBOCOM is an attempt to refocus the computing community's present push to access the power of the computer. In this attempt, we turn around and access the users instead from inside the computer. By making the computer reach out to the users, we can collect their knowledge, convert this knowledge into readily usable software, and store them in a common repository for all to use. The life inside Cray at Boeing gradually grew quite complacent and profitable. We had the robots and their tools to shield us from the hassles of the outside world. But the good times ended when Boeing decided to end its commercial service bureau business. Confident and optimistic, we thought ROBOCOM would become the new phenomenon in the outside computing world. But the welcome party never showed up. ROBOCOM found herself to be the new kid on the block, having to face off the big genie called Windows on the little PC. After 5 years of field testing, we found that our real obstacle was psychological rather than technical. For 2 decades, the PC industry has been beating the drums on the wonders of computers. By now, technical and business professionals have all been ushered to a seat directly in front of a computer. But just when they are about to punch away on those keyboards, a robot pops out on the screen and tells them to watch but don't touch. A typical response from a new user on ROBOCOM is, "So what am I doing here if the robot's going to do it all for me?" We could tell them all about the virtues of robots, tools, and how they could even save you enough time to sneak in some tax return work in the office. But the fact remains that we have about 2 minutes to retell a story different than the one that has been told for the last 20 years. And as if the shock from the sudden plot switching in midstream is not enough, we tell them that we don't even let the robot do the work directly. Instead, we train the robots to use automation tools. If at this point the user still hasn't gotten up and left, we go on to tell them that the automation tools are produced by an intelligence factory. Let it suffice to say here that the technical aspects of ROBOCOM will be presented in the next videos. We will end this overview by describing to you a plan that we will carry out in the next few years. This plan is based on the recognition that ROBOCOM is but a kernel. This means that the ROBOCOM group is not to be burdened with the gigantic effort of creating the open and public software databank. What we need now is a core of software developers who are able to maintain ROBOCOM in a sufficiently continual state of operation, reminiscent of the rookie years of the computer itself. The objective of this promotional video effort is to search for a few pioneering user groups. These groups must first of all have large and complex problems to solve. Then they need to be willing to make the psychological adjustments, which include the selfless cooperation with others and robots, and a little holding back of one's own randomness. These pioneers have to learn how to live and work alongside the robots, who are both relentlessly disciplined and blindly obedient. A year or 2 of this drilling and maintaining ROBOCOM for high-tech applications will get her ready for other technical and business applications. The original pioneering users will somehow wind up supporting public mass media companies to offer ROBOCOM as a free and open service to the public. The vast software capabilities that these companies could accumulate would more than compensate for their initial trouble. Thus, the real momentum behind bringing ROBOCOM to fruition is the general public. By simply getting on ROBOCOM, the public will be contributing their knowledge and experiences, which will be automatically converted by ROBOCOM to ready-to-use capabilities. And the communication vehicle that will help to rally this effort is the Internet. ROBOCOM is a software counterpart of the Internet, and like the Internet, the evolution of ROBOCOM would also be bordering on the anarchic and leaning towards the non-commercial. No one will make billions on the way to its completion, and no one will need billions after it is completed. For if we haven't made that much of a difference in the world by then we have failed.